So to get here, you've raised, $85 million. You have some amazing uh, investors in terms of their brands. Can you talk about kind of what that let's go to the very first round you raised. How much did you raise like at the first?
Yeah. Well, we raised some pre-seed money from XVAR. Our first kind of proper, institutional round was a seed round from Excel. They've been great over the years. Interestingly, we were working with a different partner, and then he left Excel, and we kind of got to pick our new partner effectively, or at least sort of request one. And we said we want to work with this guy Voss, and Voss was I think he led the Series A in segments, the CDP, Frame.io. He's been in some great companies. And Voss has been a great partner of ours over the years.
How did you get that Excel round? Like, because Excel obviously top, I don't know, 5 investors in the world or whatever. Was that easy?
I got connected to a partner over there through an old friend from Microsoft. So a lot of it was kind of working through my network. I think a mistake that I made during the seed round was kind of like dragging it out a little bit. And I think you want to sort of compress it, create a sense of urgency. You don't want to over compress it and overdo it. But I think we probably spoke to 15, 20 firms before we spoke to Excel. Had a pretty good meeting with them. Like, quite frankly, I thought it was like just okay. And then the next day was like, we've already called 3 of your customers. We're can you send over this data? And I think we had a term sheet within a couple days.
Wow.
So that was sort of another learning, is like create a sense of urgency, create scarcity during a fundraising process. And also, like, you're going to get a lot of signal within the first couple of days. Like, are they leaning in or not? If you're having to chase somebody or they're ghosting you, so you can't get them back on the hook. Sometimes folks need to do their homework, or they're on vacation or whatever.
When the person says, yeah, when you find a lead and you cross 20 billion of revenue, come back and
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm very interested when you get to that point.
Yeah. And I would say, like, you need to get folks up to speed on what you're doing. But I think by and large, like, people either get it or they don't.
Right.
And you're not necessarily going to convince somebody of your vision or your business. But like, they're kind of going to get it immediately or not. It's really about finding folks who kind of get it, who believe.
So we had Excel as an investor as well. I'm curious, from your view, they were in, as you said, first real institutional round. Where do you see the value of a firm like Excel? Like, obviously you mentioned Voss, but as a firm, like, what is the value of having a firm like that?
I would say they've been a great partner to us over the years, and they've kind of, obviously they have an early stage fund and a growth fund, but they helped us in the earliest days, and they've helped us scale. And think about what our path to being a unicorn and then some looks like. We have a lot of great investors. We have/had a lot of great early stage investors who were really helpful with kind of crafting early product vision, or at least how we storytelled around it. Storytelled. Made intros to Series A, Series B stage investors, but it's been tough for them to be helpful at the growth stage. We also have some great growth stage investors. Insight Partners led our Series C. They're very quantitative. They're used to scale ups, and they're helpful in a different way than some of our early stage investors. And Excel has been really helpful with both. I would also say, there's a couple different sort of investor or board archetypes. You've got the professional investors, you've got the former founders, you've got the seasoned operators. If I were to maybe bucket them 3 ways, we've historically had a lot of kind of professional investors, but ones who are very founder oriented. And so I think figuring out how maybe you have some diversity in terms of ways they can help, size, role they can play on the board, in terms of advice they can offer is definitely helpful.
Who's the partner at Insight?
Matt Gatto, here in New York. He's great.
And I think what's interesting also is what I tell founders, I'm curious if you've seen this, is, when you're going out for that first seed round to an Excel, it's about you, it's about your co-founder, it's about the broad vision. But when you go to Insight, and now it's a later stage business, growth stage, like you said, now we're talking about numbers. Now they could love you, but if the numbers aren't there, they're not investing. And
Totally.
I think it changes the fundraising kind of process and priorities, I guess.
Yeah, I think when you're when you're selling to a customer, you're trying to do discovery and understand what a customer wants from your product. Like, what's a good outcome? Like, it's important to understand what an investor is trying to get out of investing. Like, what are they underwriting to? What do they care about? What else is in their portfolio? Do you fit their thesis? what does a great outcome look like to them in 3, 5, 10 years? And so I think being able to understand that, speak to that, and ultimately you're taking their money, build towards that and follow through on that.